Hey, hello. Can you hear me
Hello.
okay, Rob?
We can hear you. Your music to our ears, Hugh.
It's not every day someone says that to me.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's because I don't have copies of your old albums. So,
There you go.
and you don't have copies of mine. So we're even.
Hey, hello.
Great. So welcome, Hugh. Thanks so much for doing this. As I said in the very beginning, you weren't here, Hugh, but when I contacted you before, I told you that unless you were coming to IATEFL Poland, Gdansk, there was no sense having a conference because it wouldn't be a conference without Hugh.
Very
So,
kind of you to say so.
and we hope to see you again this September in when we announce later.
I was going to say, has it been announced yet?
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Few
Okay.
weeks. I'll let you know.
Okay. I'm sure I'll be there.
Great.
Look forward to
So
that every year.
take it away. It's all yours, and thanks.
So, thank you very much. Can I screen share, Rob? Can I
Yeah,
do
you
that?
should
Yeah,
be
I
able
can.
to.
Okay, I'll do that in a minute. So, hello everyone. Hi. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a teacher and a teacher trainer and also a course book writer based here in North London. So, along with my business partner and co-author Andrew Walkley, we've done the six level outcome series with National Geographic Learning, and we've also done the Teaching Lexically methodology book. And what I wanted to just really talk about today was some of the courses that we also run. Possibly, like a lot of people, when COVID hit, we sort of were forced to pivot to a more online mode of operating. And what we've ended up doing is kind of running a whole range of different courses, which I'll just talk through a little bit. So one of the things we do is we run a very niche kind of bespoke boutique kind of online English language school, particularly working with highly sort of competent people already. A lot of the people we work with are already teachers of English themselves, or they're professionals who use English in their everyday life. And it's basically we do kind of 1 hour classes a week at different times. We do everything through Zoom. We write all our own material, and in the actual classroom I'll sort of talk through what we do a little bit. Actually, let me just stop that particular screen share and do another screen share. Give me a second. You're gonna have to just put up with me doing loads of screen shares as we get going. So I just thought I'd give a quick example of the kind of thing we do. So yeah, let me just share that. 1 second, sorry. Basically, what we do is we write our own material every week, and we choose a whole wide range of different topics, and we send the material out in advance of the class, sort of 4 or 5 days before. So this was just something slightly different on beauty, where you get a little few tasks. So there'll be kind of, which of these are ordinary or unlikely things do you find beautiful? Why? Anything else you might find beautiful? Choose 3 of these topics to talk about. Yeah, area of outstanding natural beauty, beautiful piece of music, beauty contests. We include some language that we think might be useful and might be new for people at this level. In class, sometimes students ask questions about some of the bits of language. We also send out revision sheets after class based on this language. Sometimes there are tasks connected to things going on in the news or YouTube videos or TED Talks or whatever. We don't assume that everybody's going to have had time to read or research things. So we kind of work around it. So there'll be, look at these newspaper headlines, choose 2 you're curious about. If you have time, read about them. If not, which ones would you be most interested in reading about? Why? Students usually read about them. They'll talk about them. A whole range of different things. Some of them are much more serious, sea defences at beauty spots. Woman killed beauty blogger doppelganger in black magic ritual, designed to help her fake her own death. The beauty of being alone. Quite different kinds of areas and different topics. And then some more red language. And then there's some quotes about beauty. Yeah, how far do you agree with each one? So this was just 1 week from the last term we've just finished. And basically, we send that out in advance. We have a maximum of 10 students per class. In class, people basically get put in breakout rooms, different breakout rooms at different times with different people. And while students are talking in breakout rooms, as teachers, we go round, we listen, we pick up on things that we hear students saying, and we help them kind of reword things or say things better. Because of the level of the students we're dealing with, it's generally not grammar problems, although sometimes grammar comes up. It's generally much more to do with vocabulary and just typical ways of expressing themselves. So what you end up with is things like, where are we? Yeah, just people talking about things like this. I'm a city girl through and through, so I'm less connected to the natural world than Vladka is. God, it does my head in that women in their mid-20s are having Botox and stuff. I've always thought wrinkles had character. They're hard earned. That's what I tell myself, obviously. They've got their own stories to tell. There's something really beautiful about people who just embrace the aging process. There used to be a real stigma attached to going grey. So a lot of it's language like this, and we usually add in some extra links at the end. Some of it's to do with the 1 minute English videos we do on YouTube and Instagram. There's a little film about beauty salons in the north of England, something about how to find beauty in the world, why I don't let my daughter on Instagram, which came up in the class, something about young girls talking about how they understand beauty, and so on. With these links, we've got no expectation that people will necessarily watch them. If they want to, they can. If they don't want to, it's up to them. Every fourth week, we do a revision week where we kind of do speaking around language that's come up in the classroom. So those are the online language classes that we run. Let me just go back to where I was. Oh, can you see that? Yeah. 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 Okay. On the website, if you go to lexicallab.com and look through what we offer. Oh, sorry, I forgot to charge my mouse and it's playing up a little bit. Give me a second. You can go to the online English section there and you can basically see the classes. You can see the different times, bargain prices. It comes to about £120 for a 12-week course, so £10 a week. We also offer, for example, online Spanish, which we've started doing. One of our teachers, Lewis, is English-born, Spanish heritage, bilingual. And Andrew, my writing partner, also lived in Spain for getting on for 10 years. And we sort of realized there was a bit of a gap in the market for Spanish from a more lexical kind of perspective, with a bit of a lexical twist. We run classes at beginner, sort of A2, sort of B1 kind of level. Those of you who are, oh, I don't know if you can see that one. Is that still sharing? Can you see the Instagram there? Let's see. Yeah, I think I have to change it every time. There you go. If you go to our Instagram page, which has the catchy title of Lexical Lab Teacher Development, you can find, for example, every week our Spanish teacher, Lewis, does these little videos, Spanish Sundays. I'm not sure if you can hear that or not.
When we talk about the weather,
Can you hear that?
we often use the verb hacer, which is the verb to make in English. So whereas in English we'd say it's cold, in Spanish we'd say hace frío, it's making cold. Other things you can say with hacer calor, it's making hot, or it's making heat, it's hot. Hace viento, it's windy, it's making wind. Hace fresco, it's chill, it's cold. Hace
So yeah, you get the idea. This is kind of the way that we're approaching the teaching. You get these weekly videos on our Lexical Lab Teacher Development page. If you are on Instagram, by the way, you can also find me over there. I'm Hugh _Dellar. I post videos 3 times a week, just looking at different phrases. So this week we had "he doesn't do things by halves." I'm still reeling from the news, and she was left with egg on her face. I'm also posting twice a week about the ongoing war in Ukraine. And I do lives every month with Ukrainian teachers of English, just trying to see how the war is affecting them and their teaching. And I post about London quite a lot as well. Other things that we do with Lexical Lab, and again, let me just check whether this is sharing or not. I may have to just do another share again. Yeah, sorry. We have some online teacher training, teacher development courses. You can do them as standalone courses where you just buy the course and do it in your own time, or you can do them with a tutor. For the next year, the tutor will be Andrew. And we have a whole range of different courses. So we've got Plan Smarter and Get the Most from Your course book. We've got Teaching Listening Better. We've got Teaching Languages at Low Levels. We've also got a new course we're just launching about mediation and how to think about, teach, test mediation in the classroom. So again, if you go to the website and you just look at online teacher training, you can find information about all that kind of thing there. And another thing that we do, because we're not busy enough already, is every year, let me just check that this is sharing again, sorry. We run a 2-week summer school in London. We rent rooms in the London Metropolitan University up in Holloway Road, and we do 2 courses basically. These are usually sort of middle 2 weeks of July, and we do a 2-week teaching lexically course and another 2-week course on advanced British language and culture. The teaching lexically course is really looking at how to kind of implement some of the ideas from this thing into your classroom. It's very practically oriented. It's very much about what do you do as a teacher when you're going through vocab exercises? Why? Are there other ways you could do it? What principles are you basing what you do on? What kind of examples are you giving? What kind of questions are you asking? What kind of interactions going on with the students when you're doing those vocab exercises? When you're teaching grammar, what are you emphasizing? What are you looking at? When you're using a course book that's not coming from a kind of lexical perspective, you know, a kind of English file headway sort of book, are there ways that you can make those books more lexically rooted, lexically oriented? What are you doing when you're doing listenings? How are you approaching reading, writing, speaking? Different ways of giving feedback, teaching one-to-ones, testing, recycling, revising, all those kinds of things. So it's very much a practical, hands-on, workshopped kind of approach. The advanced British language and culture is looking at a whole wide range of contemporary kind of issues in British culture. We wanted to do something that wasn't the kind of stereotypical, you know, Stonehenge, royal family, English breakfast kind of stuff. We wanted to do something that reflected Britain as it is today, really. So we talk about tensions within the United Kingdom, we talk about class, we talk about race, we talk about immigration, we talk about Brexit, we talk about humour, talk about youth culture, music culture, pop culture, look at some British films from the last couple of years. And with all of these things, we do kind of compare and contrast. Students think about how things work in their own country. They ask questions about the UK. We feed in language if and when we need to, where we understand what students are saying. But as with the English classes, we feed in, you know, maybe more sophisticated or more, I don't know, colloquial ways of saying the things they're trying to say. So it's a kind of language boost and a culture boost course, as opposed to a explicitly methodological, pedagogical course. At the same time, we also have a really full-on kind of cultural social program. So we take students out pretty much 3-4 afternoons a week, one day at the weekend. We do trips to all kinds of different places around London. We try to take people to bits of London that we don't think they will have seen before. So if you're doing the advanced culture course, we'll probably take you down to Brixton, big Caribbean community, go to the Black Cultural Archive down there, have a look at Brixton Market, get you to try some different food maybe. You know, if you've never tried a Jamaican ackee and saltfish patty, maybe this is your chance. We'll go to Brick Lane, also known as Bangla Town, where there's a big Bangladeshi community. Walk around there, talk about it, have a look at the history. This year, we're hoping to do things like hidden London tours, which are tours run by people who used to be homeless and who are now doing tours round where they used to be homeless, kind of talking about the history of the area, but also talking about homelessness in London, what it's like being homeless in the particular areas they're taking you around. So really trying to give students who are often teachers who come to us a sort of very different experience of London. There's also time for people to go and take photos outside Big Ben and see Buckingham Palace and do all that kind of stuff if you want to. But we won't be joining you on those excursions. We'll be showing you London as we experience it and the London that we know from a kind of insiders off the beaten track kind of perspective. Those summer courses cost £800, cheaper than many other London-based establishments for those kinds of courses. And again, you can see details online. You just go to summer courses. One final thing I should say is if you do go to the website, another thing you can do is right there. If you go to the home page, somewhere down here on the bottom, where are we? You can sign up to our mailing list. This will let you stay in touch with everything that we're doing, what courses we've got coming up, any courses we're going to be running abroad, and so on. We also have a blog on the website where you can read tons of stuff about teaching and about language. So there's something there about dictation and decoding, something about the crazy ways that the word can is often taught, something about why being average is often good if you're a language learner. But then there's also things like, you know, fictional characters who appear in everyday English and the way those words work. So, you know, just little things like, oh, look, I'm no Sherlock Holmes, but I think I know who wrote that letter. You know, no shit, Sherlock, those kinds of things. He still looks exactly the same as he did 30 years ago. He's a right Dorian Gray, that guy. So these kind of blog posts about language and the way that language is used, as well as posts about teaching. You can also see the stuff we've written. One final thing I should mention is we have a YouTube channel. You can find us and subscribe to us. If you just look for YouTube Lexical Lab, you can go there, you can subscribe. And we have a whole load of different playlists that you can find. So we've got some videos about teacher development. We've got some lives that we've done just with different teachers. You can see all the lives we've done with the Ukrainian teachers. You can see videos from previous summer schools. You can see all of the almost 900 now 1-minute English videos I've been doing. There's some random bits and pieces, talks that Andrew's done, talks that I've done. There's videos of us teaching, if you're curious to see, you know, us in action in classrooms doing what we do, that kind of thing. All of that is there. I think I've probably already exhausted myself, so I will stop there. If anyone's got any questions or anything you want to ask about, please feel free. And hey, Anna, hello. Nice to see you all again as well, even if I can't see you. But thank you for the comment there. If anyone's got any questions or anything anyone wants to ask, please feel free to. Otherwise, it's on with the show, I guess.
Okay, well.